Okay, good morning everybody. This is group LIX2. My name is Wing and here are my teammates. We have Charles, Leo and Tom here. Today we are very happy to introduce to you our FYP, the project that we have spent over 9 months doing it. And the title is called CodeBook, an iOS mobile app to teach children basic Scratch programming language and concepts. So first of all, I would like to share with you the 4 points of motivation behind this project. First, we observed that kids coding has already become a trend around the world. In 2013, there is an NGO in US being formed, and it's called CodeBook App. They try to put some online tutorials in the internet, and up to now there are already over 200 million children being participated in those kind of tutorials, which proves that there are really a lot of children being interested in learning code. However, in Hong Kong, if the children they want to learn some coding programming language from some private courses, they are just so expensive. These are some 3 of the actually existing companies in Hong Kong, and the beginners course offered by them are at least 4,000 Hong Kong dollars per course. So we think that this is not affordable for children. And you may wonder, are there any cheaper choices or free choices in the market? And there are actually some apps in the iTunes store that claims that they teach computer science concepts. For example, this app called Codable, they claim that they are teaching some coding concepts, but the coding task designed by them is simply asking children to put those kinds of arrow blocks in order to control this character, to complete this maze. So in the perspective of the children, what they are doing is simply completing some maze games, but without that whether they can really understand the underlying concepts behind. And we also noticed that there is already a programming language that is designed for kids, which is called Scratch. However, currently it is only available on the PC platform, and it does not provide any official tutorials for the kids. Therefore, what they can do is only to create projects by trial and error, and they cannot learn systematically. So with these 4 points, we are strongly motivated to design our own kids coding app, which is called CodeBook. We named this app CodeBook because we believe that learning to code is somewhat similar to learning to cook. So when we are learning how to cook, we usually refer to a cookbook followed step by step, and gradually we become able to cook with some cooking skills and create our original dishes. And it is just the same when learning how to cook. With our app, we hope that children can learn some coding skills and become able to create their original programs. So our app CodeBook provides 3 separate modes. The first mode is tutorial mode. It is story-based, and it teaches 5 of the basic programming concepts. And we provide step-by-step guidelines for children to follow. We also provide an hour of code edition, which is a 1-hour edition of the tutorial mode. It aims to provide a light-hearted learning experience as a starting point for the children. We also provide a project mode for children to practice coding skills. They can either start from a blank project, or they can also choose to customize the project templates offered by us. So this is our app CodeBook. It is completely free and tailor-made for children aged 6 or above. We hope this app will contribute to the kids' coding education. So I hope this video gives you an overview of what our FYP is about, and this is today's agenda. I and Charles will first talk about the design, and my teammates will move on to talk about the implementation, testing, and evaluation, and the last part will be the Q&A. So now let's look at the CodeBook curriculum, which is originally designed by us. It consists of 6 chapters. The first one gives an overview, general introduction to the Scratch programming language, and help the children to get familiar with the programming interface in our app. And the rest of the chapters, each of them will teach one of the fundamental coding concepts. So you may wonder how we choose these 5 topics. Actually, our curriculum design started from research. We first look at the existing apps and find out their weaknesses. For example, we noticed that they are often lack of detailed explanation, and they always focus more on playing than teaching. so we try to avoid them in our own app. Then we start to reference different kind of materials including the coding curriculum provided by CodeBook. It helps us to choose the topics which are suitable for children of our target age group. Also, we read some coding books that are written for children and learn the use of language from them. And we find out that they often try to use some real-life example to explain some complicated concepts, and we also incorporate this approach in our own app. And then we try to associate the chapters with some famous stories, because just looking at these kinds of programming terms can be very intimidating for children. So what children like is some story, interesting content. And for some of chapter, we link them with stories that every children know. And so here is an example of how we make our tutorial story-based. This is the story of the thirsty crowd. As we know, the crowd has to move back and forth from the ground to the jug in order to put the pupils into the jug. So if the children, they only implement this process step by step, block by block, then the program will be very long because some of the blocks are simply repeated. So here is an incentive for children to learn about looping. We will teach them to use the repeat block so they can simplify that program into this one by using repeat block that is available in the Scratch. And then we designed a cartoon character called Redbird, which acts as a teacher in our app to deliver the tutorial contents. So here is how it tries to explain what code is mean to the children by saying that it is a language for humans to communicate with computer and instruct the computers about what they do. And the final step is to collect feedback from children and our communication tutor in order to further simplify the use of language and make sure that the children really understand, yeah, it looks like that and it's that. Okay. In order to make the content more easy for the children to understand. So now let me show you the flow of how children learn in our tutorial mode. So here is a roadmap of one of the chapter. When they start the chapter, we will show a comic that introduces the background of the story, make sure that they know what is going on. And then they will start a section. For example, the first section in this chapter is section 5.1. And then we first explain to them the new concepts that they haven't learned before and teach them any new kinds of blocks they would need to use in this section. And they will know how to complete the short coding task. So after the task, they can move on to the next section. And after all the sections, they complete the chapter exercises and they can move on to the next chapter. So now I'll pass the time to our Charles here to explain to you the user interface design.
Okay, the following I'm going to talk about the design of the UI. You can see that our app is called CodeBook and our mascot is the bird. That's why we use bird and book as our theme. You can take a sample in the photo there. And under the title, there is flying bird, flying book, and also the birdhouse button. And also each book is represent each project. Okay, now I will talk about the tutorial UI. The tutorial UI will show in the pop-up window like this at the beginning of each coding task. There are 4 types of instruction. You can see that the normal instruction is talk about the introduction or give some instruction or the usage of the concept or the UI. Then second is the question type question. It tests how they understand the concept or the usage. The hints type, it allows them if they want to get some hint or really don't know the questions. And last, the action type is give a practice based on how they learn, how they learn in the past. That is the tutorial UI. In the chapter selection, they share in different chapters. They share similar design. And when you tap inside, you go to this part just mentioned by Ring. And in the beginning, the next task will be loaded. If you complete the current task, the next task will be unlocked. Then, when they tap to different specific tasks, it will go to this page, Programming UI. It's divided into 5 parts: stage, 5 selection area, coding box selection area, coding area, and the menu bar. In the stage, it gives the preview of the result, what you code, and the sprite selection area, which allow you to change, add, or remove the sprites. And the coding block selection area, it allow you to drag and drop the block into the coding area. In coding area, of course, you can connect the block together. And finally, the menu bar. It allows different operation in the state and programming UI. For example, you can tap the reset button and reset to the original setting of this task. Or you can tap the open guide button at the top right corner. It will have a user guide page. When you tap different number button, you can get the view of the function or the usage of different button and the area. Also, there are about CodeBook. It has a content about the app copyrights and why we did the projects. Okay, this is the project templates mode. You have this UI as the first. When you tap inside, it gives an introduction of how to use in project templates. The key point is the tap on the magic button. When you tap, then you have a customization list of the project templates. They are divided into different items. If you want to change the different item, you can tap the right button and have a further guidance about the customization. Then I'll talk about the graphic design. It's our original design on the background and characters. It decided by using Adobe Illustrator AI. The three tools are frequently used to adjust minor change and make a path smoother. And there are no back edge on the character and background on our design because we think that the simple design is much more appealing to the kid. You can see that the Scratch design have a back edge. But we also import the Scratch sprite library into our app in order if you want to use different background or characters. You can see the example of the sprites library, and this is our chapter background and characters. In different chapter, we use different background and character based on the tutorial content or story. Against that, the chapter 1 to chapter 6. Okay, the output mode, it has a 9 tasks to do. Once you complete the 9 tasks, we ask you to type your name. It will have you get the certificates. This is the UI. Then now I'll pass the time to Leo to talk about the implementation parts.
Okay, now I'm talking about how we implement our CodeBook. For our CodeBook, we decided to use Script to our programming language and using HTML for the data storage. And here is our class structure. At the top, you can see a front page VZ, which represents our front page. And then, because we have 3 modes, and so we will have our code, tutorial, and our project building mode. And then, wherever you are choosing a tutorial or building your project, will resultly enter to the Scratch Build Controller. And here is our Scratch Build Controller, and you can add your sprite for from, and then for showing the tutorial content. And also, we will have our music helper, which is for is a interface for our whole app to playing the sound effects and song. And after talking about the class structure, we'll also talk about the build controller structure. Basically, it is the Scratch build controller. And we'll have our main field, which is the whole interface of Scratch. And then we divided it into 2 parts. The upper part is menu bar field, and the lower part is Scratch field. Because of some area is too large, such as the coding area, we set it to the scroll field. And also we will have a burn view for burning the background and show the instruction at the top. And sometimes you may need to delete the sprite or reset the project, so we will pop up a warning for the user to make sure that they really need to do this. And for the modify the project, we will have the sprite library, background library, and the sound library for users to modify their project. And after we setting up this basic requirement for the Scratch program, we would like to make the block can move, because that the user can modify or build their own program. So in each block, we add a pen gesture recognizer in each, and there are 3 phases. The first phase is begin, and when the user tap on the screen, they will detect which block they are selected. And here, if you tap on the green area, they will select the move pen style. And then when they drag in the block, the block will move based on the finger movement. And at the end phase, if we release our finger, they will detect whether the block is nearby the other block, and if they are inside the green area, they will connect each other. So now I will demo how we moving the block. So here is our project building mode, and we can drag the block from the coding selection area to the coding area. And if we put below the block, they will connect each other. Or you can drag a looping block and put the block inside a block, they will just inside at the block. Or you can drag the block above them and they will connect each other. And you can also put this like this. Yes. So this is our demo for the moving block. And then I will pass through to Tom to talk about the UI of the block.
So the block in our app is drawn by the CF Hub. And to draw a similar block shape as it is in Scratch, we have referred to the Scratch source code on GitHub, and it is written in ActionScript. And then after that, we write our own code to draw the block shape. And as you can see in the bottom figure, each block is drawn by 2 drawing functions, which is draw top and draw right and bottom for the different parts. And then there is some UI label for the block description, and also a text field for them to input the value. So for different blocks, there is different drawing function. Like in the top left figure, you can see there is a draw head function for a starting block, and in the top right figure, you can see there is a as not equal to false to indicate that it is an ending block. So to adjust the size of the coding blocks, we have assigned a set of variables. So W is the width of the block, and different parts of the block have different types. So just like the previous demo Leo had done, we have insert a block into a repeat block. So we will first get the insert size of the inserted block, and then we will update the corresponding height value so that the block size will be updated. Also, we have created some animation in our app to increase the attractiveness and also the user experience. So every time they open the app, they can see a red bird show up in the title screen. And when they are selecting the chapter, the image will flip based on the user's swipe direction. So Leo will talk about the tutorial of our app.
In the tutorial mode, we set up a lot of curriculum. So we designed a XML file. At the bottom, you can see here, we set a sentence XML, and the Scratch program will read this XML and storing the attribute to the class sentence. So the Scratch program can, according to the sentence class, to read the content and show up in the dialog. And also in the tutorial, we also provide some multiple choice questions. So we just extend the XML file for the answer tab so that we can fill up some answer and hints in the dialogue. And also in each chapter, we'll provide a chapter exercise. It's just similar with the previous multiple choice questions. And because we may have some picture questions, so we'll also extend XML for a pic tab, is storing the image name. And because of sometimes the user may leave their tutorial, so we would like to save the process. And we set up a integer variable called schedule. And when the user click on the next button or answer a empty question, that will increase the schedule number. And when they finish the whole tutorial, the schedule will set to -99. So and when the user enter again to the tutorial, they can get the previous schedule. And then here is our coding task. And if we need the user to do a task, we will first talk about what they need to do. In this task, we need the user modify the move 15 step to move 10 step. So after we modify it, we can click on the green flag button to check the answer. If the answer is correct, we will have a rounded dialog for the user. But however, if the user answer wrong, we will also pop an outer window for reminding the user what they need to do. So now I will demo how we have a tutorial. And this tutorial is chapter 3.2, is talking about the looping concept. And first, we will have some instructions about what we did. And this block will make the crowd move, and you can click on the green flag button to check what this block are doing. So after the user understand this block, and we will introduce a new concept. This is the repeat block, and it is a basic loop concept. So, and after reading the instruction, and we will also teachings about this repeat block. In this, we will repeat the inner block 2 times. So we also have a task for the user to see the event clearly. And after we understand what this block are doing, we will provide a task for him to modify this code. In this part, these 2 parts is same, so we can just drop this out and add a repeat block and modify it 2 times and drop this. And drop this. And connect each other and then click on the green button to check the answer. So we finish the task, and then we will also have a summary for the user to let them know what we learned in this section. So after talking about the tutorial mode, we'll let Tom talk about the project template.
So let's enter the project template mode. So we have already created a project template, which is a greeting card. So when we enter the project template mode, there is an instruction that tells you what you can do. So they tell you to tap on the magic button to see a list of customization. So maybe we will try this, try to see what happens. So open the card.
We don't have the sound for this.
So next week is the Mother's Day, so maybe we want to make a card for our mother. So we can check the guide, and maybe we want to change the picture inside the card. So there is a guide for the user to see how to change. So we can follow this. So we change the birthday cake to a best mom ever, and then we can see the card. The user has customized their own project. How the sound is created. So we have created a music helper card, and with the help of the AV audio player interface. So there are totally 3 sound players, and they are all responsible for different sounds. And the controller of the background music and the buttons, sound effects are created a singleton, so that there will be only one instance of sound playing at the same time. So can play some of the sounds. So maybe when we pass on the sound library, we will play a song. And there are some background music. And when we enter the tutorial mode, you will play a different background music. And only one music we will play at the same time. So let me introduce you how our app is tested. So the first test is the coding task completion test. So in this test, we will test all the coding tasks we implemented in 2 scenarios, which users followed our instruction and which they didn't. And in the case that they follow our instruction, the app will respond correctly. But sometimes if the users have modified the preset code, the app may pass due to some unknown error. And the second test is the project building test. So we select the 15 featured project on the Scratch official website and build them one by one to find out any possible error. However, due to the limited number of the implemented blocks, so we cannot build the whole project. We can only build several simple tasks. And we have not found any errors during the project building. So here is an example test case. So we go to find a featured project on the Scratch website, and then we build it on our app. So, and the last test is we have repeated a group of children to try our application and let them provide some feedback to us. And Charles will introduce more about this.
Okay, in our code, the background music and some sound effects is quite loud or too slow. Then we modify it, then we have a better sound library now. Okay, we have conduct a survey after this session. The feedback of this is quite good. You can see that's the score. The highest score is 5. They think it is interesting tutorial and the graphic is quite good. It has a clear instruction. Also, they think that the background music is quite to half of them, and half of them think that's unusual. And then overall, they like the app a lot. This is the photo they taken. They're quite happy after the guests and after these sessions. Okay, now we'll give a summary and what's been done. And we will compare the project completeness by comparing the outcomes of our objective. First, to develop an iOS mobile app to teach the children basic Scratch programming skill and concept. We finished it because we successfully to develop an iOS app, and we have a good introduction to the basics Scratch programming skill and concept. Second, we construct an organized curriculum because we construct a 6 tutorial curriculum and explains the concept clearly. And the third, we include the separate mode, tutorial mode, and project building mode. We partially finish it because we only contains 3 chapters. The total is 6 chapters. And also the project building mode, in project building mode, only 2/3 of the block are finished, work as function as work as Scratch library. Okay, we have an hour of code addition. We finish it because we want the kid finish it within 1 hour. In our code trail session, they can finish within 1 hour. Then we provide a program template in the project building mode, which can be customized. We partially finish it because design we have a 3 project templates, but now we only finish 1 project template, that is the vision card or greeting card. The 6th, design a user-friendly UI, displays the instruction clearly. And we think that we are finished. It's because we design an entire UI for the app, and the feedback from the trial session, the kids like the graphic a lot. Okay, now it's the Q&A time. You are free to ask any questions.
So you did all the graphics and music yourself?
The programming UI, yes, and the background and character, yes, and only the Scratch library. But I have to make some minor change on that because the pixel is not quite good. There is many selection on the graphic. Then we pick some graphic that is successfully converted into similar to the original design.
And for the sounds, we
is actually done by him using Adobe.
yeah, graphics part of them are designers, and the rest of them are imported from the Scratch official web version. And regarding the sounds, most of them are imported from the library from the web version of Scratch, and those sounds are used in the project modes. But for the in-app, our own sound effects on buttons and background music, they are from some license-free websites. Yeah, and we put that in our.
So what? Can you better explain the relationship to Scratch? So Scratch is the other.
You open the Scratch website
Sure.
and show it.
So Scratch is developed by MIT like 10 years ago.
Yeah, I know Scratch. But just what's your relationship to Scratch?
Our relationship is because Scratch is like the most popular language that is used by children, so we choose it to implement it in our own app. We think that it is suitable for children to learn
So the
because
visual language is Scratch, and you used it inside your app, right?
yeah. So what children are learning is Scratch.
Oh,
We are actually designing a course to teach
Yeah,
kids
yeah.
to learn Scratch.
Yeah.
But now Scratch, they do not have the app version. Basically, they
Yeah.
construct everything using Swift to build an app version to teach Scratch and design the whole course.
remember how she explained.
I explained to them many
I
times.
explained to. And there's another programming environment for children, which is much more modern. It's called Touch Develop
Touch Develop is by Microsoft.
by Microsoft.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that group very well too. It's very popular in UK. So you might want to take a look at that and see if you can get some inspirations.
In Hong Kong, primary school, like my kids' school, they all use Scratch to teach the coding. I don't know. I never heard about
Scratch
this
is
Scratch.
Scratch is very old. very old. And then there are other extensions. I think in Rice, the University of Rice, some people there developed next generation. But the newest I know of is called Touch Develop from Microsoft.
Yeah, it's like more flexible. Like children can type a lot of things in those kind of
Basically,
blocks.
just
Yeah, I've tried
and,
Touch Develop before. It seems more complicated than Scratch. Maybe.
it's very
Yeah.
Maybe the target is like elder kids.
Yeah.
How old is the target?
I don't know. It's on kindergarten and it's on the news. BBC reported as well. So I
I
don't
don't think
know.
Scratch can be used for kindergarten. My daughter, she's 8. I think she can grab what they teach there. But younger, I doubt. Can they actually read? It's,
For primary school, I forgot. Well, it's for children. Yes. It's on the news. Anyways, pretty good. I mean, it's the experience. You put a lot of thought into the experience, the user experience, and that's of course very important for children in particular. Good job.
I asked so many questions before, so I'm running out of questions because I helped them prepare the president. So I just want to ask the future plan. They are a little bit missing. I think for the project, the template is not a big issue, but the tutorial mode, you mentioned there's still 2 tutorials.
English contains 3.
Yeah, so what's your plan? I feel it will be very nice if you can like publish in the App Store. So, but without those 2 tutorials, it's not actually a complete project. I know you will graduate very soon, so it's kind of like, what's your decision?
We haven't thought of it yet.
Because I think it's already there.
Yeah,
It's already good enough.
It's
A
real
little
obvious.
bit of effort will actually. I think it's okay to publish in the App Store if it's the current quality is good enough, but only when it's complete. You can think about it.
Sure.
Okay.
So, how many of the Scratch sprites or the commands were you developed yourself that were different from the original Scratch?
The spread. You're actually talking about the figures, the cartoon
The
figures.
blue boxes.
Oh, I think those are from Scratch, right?
100% are from Scratch?
Most of them are from Scratch, but for example, the pupil, the Thirsty Proud example we just showed you, the block that is in purple color, like put pupils into a drug, is not exist in the original Scratch version. But because it is related to the story, so we kind of create those kind of blocks in the tutorial.
Because kind of they are using Scratch they're teaching the Scratch programming language, so it's making sense. You should keep it's kind of like the reserved word in the programming language. You cannot actually change it as what you want.
Very good.
Okay, oh, very good.